Yep.
One.
If you're up on stereo, feeling all days to come to two side on Tuesdays and Thursdays, chilling out, maxing, relaxing and smoking, joking with the boo. Oh yeah, I'm toking. Okay, that's all I got.
See, John, it's the little things. It's the little things. It is Thursday. It is not a Tuesday. We are live on the YouTubes now. Anyone who's listening, anyone who's catching us, we are live on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. We also go live on YouTube on Thursday at the same time. And if you don't run around for that, you can catch us on our YouTube channel or our Spotify or Apple Pod or Amazon Music or any of the plethora, the cornucopia of ways you can get your internet. That's who. Is that right, John?
Yeah, look under a rock. You'll find us there.
Get that right, John. Pugilist. Get that
right. Turn any stone. There we be.
All right, we playing this. There you go. I thought we were playing the chicken.
Wow. You're very invested in who turns their camera on first, but you realize as the producer, I have to set things up and I'm moving things, and it always takes me a little bit.
Doesn't matter. It's like any negotiation. It's like an argument where once the gauntlet is thrown down, the first one who talks is a loser already. Now, haven't you been in a negotiation school? Have you learned nothing from the tenure of our friendship? How to interrogate, how to win conversations, how to win at friendship. I'd be such a better friend than you. I'm gonna fuck your shit up. I won. I'm better than you. Friendship.
Well, I got myself some pumpkin dessert in the form of pumpkin beer, and that is not a twist up. I just shredded my finger right there.
It could be. Use your teeth. Use your teeth.
There you go.
Use your teeth.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that chanted my way.
Same.
It's have some more nickels.
Gonna need more teeth on that. Yikes.
Easy. I'm not a chew toy.
Slow down there, TurboTax.
All right. Well,
I don't know if you can hear them, but the neighbors are having a party next door, so I don't know if you can hear them, but through my headphones, I could hear them. So I'm like, if it picks it up, I don't know. So just so you know, that's what's going on.
So you have strange noises in the background. I have a strange background. This is going to be a good show. I think this is going to be good for everybody.
Strangers in the night with strange sounds background. Strangers all the time. Yeah. Fuck, man. All right. So, yeah, other than that, I think I might go see Wakanda Forever tomorrow.
Right on.
Other than that, yeah, nothing. Drinking. Waiting for the show. I stayed home for this show, John. The family said, would you like to come and be part of the family? I said, no, I have a show. I have dedication. Also, don't want to really be there.
You're welcome. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, it's not my fault. It's business.
Right. Good. It's the ginger's fault.
In that case, you're my boss. In all the other cases, like, John, listen up. In that case, you know what? The boss gets what the boss wants.
I know this holiday is on Thursday, but we always do it on the boss says. The boss says. What can I do? My hands are tied. My hands are tied.
Yeah. Hey, it sucks. You have religion. I have this show. We both worship a false god. What are we going to do? We can't change our days because it's inconvenient. Boss says.
Hey, before we get started with the show, tell the people listening how they can see us, how they can hear us, how they can connect with us.
Well, you can actually see us here live on YouTube every Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. But you can also write in if you'd like to be part of the show on a Tuesday and chat with us, or if you'd like to have a topic that we discuss. Our email is twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO sidedpod@gmail.com. Granted, The boss doesn't check it very often, apparently, from what I've heard around campus. But I don't know.
Before you get too far into editorializing, I'll also say that all of our socials, including our YouTube, is also Two-Sided Pod. TWO Sided Pod, all one word.
Before you call it editorializing, listen to the rest of the joke. We're kind of like your emails to us are few and far between read, kind of like the prayers that go unanswered in the false religion that one may practice. I'm just saying, John, it was like conservation of words, and you fucked it all up. Like, and if you look us up on our other things,
that's TWO Sided Pod. That's all of our socials, our YouTube, and our email, our Gmail address. There you go.
Horrible. Should we sit down or should we kneel? Should we stand up? Is this the time when we eat of the blood of John or eat of the body of my boy Pete? Oh, wait, wrong church.
Well, we haven't not established those rules yet, but, we haven't established those rules yet.
We are open for discussion.
Speaking of open for discussion, let's get started, huh?
Yeah, baby.
Well, howdy.
It really reminds me of the first Thanksgiving when the Pilgrims and the Indians came together, and the Pilgrims brought their didgeridoos, and the Indians brought their kazoos, and they sat together and they made a beautiful melody. John, can't we all just get along?
I'm John L. Peacock, normally in Brooklyn, New York, currently in Pennsylvania.
I'm my boy Pete, currently in Southern California, and currently not so upset with the didgeridoo kazoo. Maybe it's because I'm thankful. Maybe not. Maybe because I'm a little bit drunk.
And you're listening to Two-Sided, a live recorded podcast where each week I challenge Pete with a bit of the two sides of life, the serious and the fun.
I take that challenge and I tell him, John, it's a little bit of the right and the wrong, the me and the you, the yes and the no, John, the ebb and the flow, the give and the take, the push and the pull, John.
Okay, real quick, before we go further, I want to take a brief pause. We don't normally do this, but I want to address a recent tragedy. It's probably because these things are kind of overwhelmingly frequent, but we don't normally talk about it. But today I do want to acknowledge the recent shooting at the LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs. I don't want to sound trite and say our thoughts and prayers and all those tropes, but what I do want to say is that I'm heartbroken at the deaths of those 5 and the physical injuries of the dozens more, and mental and other injuries to trauma, to all connected, to those who were there and those connected to the victims. I do also want to reiterate the praise from the police chief, Adrian Vasquez, for the 2 patrons who confronted and subdued the shooter. He said, quote, "We owe them a great debt of thanks," and we do. So that's it.
No, 100%, man. I think not only recognize that, but I think a good thing to think about is there's just too much fucking hate. There's too much animosity. And the whole thing, man. I'm very nihilistic. That's cool. You don't believe in anything. You were done. Well, by all means, take that gun and swallow it. Like but you do not take anyone else out with you. They didn't make that choice. They just because they're living something that you don't choose is think is right, because they do something you don't think is right doesn't mean you get a choice to take action in that way, shape, or form. You can be a pest. You can take legal action. You can be loud, obnoxious. You can protest. You can exercise the goddamn freedoms that we have, so few of left in this country, but you don't have the right to exercise that freedom, man. That's some bullshit on every level, and that people are being targeted because of their way of life or their belief system or where they come from is fucking bullshit. I think people should be targeted because they're assholes, just generally.
Yeah.
Right? And like there's assholes all over. Let's single assholes out and not people of their life choices. It's fucking bullshit, John.
Not groupings, right? Yeah, and in a country that we are still very free to address, tell the world that we disagree with groups if we want in so many different ways to express our disagreements and our, if you hate, you can express your hatred in so many ways that does not resort to violence. So it's just insane.
Right. It's just, it makes me just, Anyway, John, way to start a fun show. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, man.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too. As my boy Pete just said, this is our Thanksgiving show. So let's just jump right into our lightning round. Hey, be funny, be funny. Lightning round.
Woo! Lightning round. Guys, that was pretty fucked up. I was waiting backstage, and you guys really brought me down. And I don't really feel like yelling anymore. I'm gonna go back to the room, and I'm gonna wait in the green room. You guys have a good show. Hey man, fucking be funny. God damn it.
Thanks, Lightning.
Enjoy that bottle of turkey I gave you.
We'll try it better after the holidays. Tough for all.
Gobble gobble.
Oof, that was tough. When your wingman takes you down that notch at once, so it's tough.
Wow, he's a party guy. Like I didn't expect that from him. Wow.
Everybody has feelings. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Well, anybody who's anybody knows that our first lightning round of the episode is always a standard Q&A. My boy Pete, are you ready for the questions?
Oh, John, I just poured a shot, so therefore I am ready for the questions.
Fantastic. This is Thanksgiving edition.
All right. Okay. I'm ready. All right. Hold on. Cornucopia, gourds, sweet potatoes, pumpkin pie, pecan pie. Okay. Cream corn. Okay. I'm ready. Good. Go.
What is generally the stated purpose of the American Thanksgiving holiday?
What is the purpose?
What is the stated purpose? What do most people say the reason for Thanksgiving is?
Oh, because that's the reason the first Thanksgiving was when the Pilgrims and the Indians came together and they helped them survive the winter because they showed them how to survive the winter. And they all ate together on one giant table. That is what the understood reason is.
Yeah, generally stated, right? What's the general reason why most Americans actually celebrate the holiday today? What is the reason why most Americans actually celebrate the holiday today?
Football. Getting together with family, eating turkey, parade, and Black Friday.
We celebrate Thanksgiving for Black Friday?
Yeah, John. And tell me Thanksgiving has not been dwarfed. People don't go home anymore, but they'll fucking line up all week for Amazon Prime sales, and like, I'll have to go to the brick and mortar because if I get there before 5 a.m., I can get a TV for $100. Tell me you haven't done that. You avoided your family and got yourself. Come on, John.
Okay, yeah. Next question. What are some classic regional dishes associated with this holiday? Regional dishes. What are some classic regional Thanksgiving dishes?
Green bean casserole.
Okay.
The candied yam casserole with the marshmallows on top. What about creamed corn?
Yeah.
How about really bad for you mashed potatoes or scalloped potatoes?
What do you prefer, mashed or scallop?
Mashed, but they have to be the really bad kind for you.
Skins in and everything?
No. You skins out, you blend them, and you put a whole block of cream cheese in there. You put a whole block of butter.
Or two.
You put like a half thing of sour cream, blend that all up, and then put a little bit of cheese in it. Put that into a baking pan, and then put like pads of butter on the top with cheese, and let that cook down. And then it's like this crispy. It's more dairy than it is potato, but it's like, goddamn, it's delightful, and so good for you too.
Great. What else?
Turducken.
Very football oriented. I heard that said a couple of times in the games today.
Yeah. Spiral ham. Cranberry sauce. Gross one.
Do you like the berries or the canned?
If I have to go, I'd go canned.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah. I do like the can on a sandwich the next day. They put that all together with a sandwich, and you're like, ooh, put some stuffing on there, make it all
Turkey
layered.
stuffing, cranberry.
Put some gravy on there, hot sauce. Then you wrap that in taco shell and you deep fry it, right? And then, John, then you take that piece that you had in the oven, you roll that up around it. Sounds good, yeah? Well, I'm not done. Then you take that pizza and you put it in a bag. You fill the bag with chili. Then you go out and you sit in the hot tub and you eat it out of the bag. Super good. That's what Thanksgiving leftovers are to me.
And if you call now,
you too can get 2 bags for the price of 1. John, we need to sell these holiday leftovers, baby. Woo!
And finally, my boy Pete, what is your favorite American Thanksgiving dish? Yours personally.
Pecan pie.
Nice. I didn't expect that one.
Pie. Yeah, it's a good. Love it. It's great. It's great. Mm-mm-mm. How much pie do you eat? All of it. No, like how many pieces? All of them. So there's no more pie? No. Should we go to the store? I ate the store's pie. It's all gone. Till tomorrow, all pies are gone. I'm going to be in a sugar coma. See you guys on Tuesday.
Watching football, right.
See you guys on Tuesday. I'm going to pass out.
Fantastic. We got a message, and then we're going to jump right into our first segment.
Hello, fellas. How you doing? Happy Thanksgiving. Hey, girl. Hi, girl. I just dropped you a video on Twitter in your DMs of me jamming out some Christmas music with my family. It's only 30 seconds, but it's fucking hilarious. Party for the last 2 days.
Nice.
Just walked in the door. I'm happy to be here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm so glad you had a good time with fam. And jamming out too. That's awesome. So good to have you.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Welcome. Let's do a shot.
Let's go ahead and everyone pour your shots. Everyone pack your bowls. Everyone grab your bongs. Let's all calm down. We're about to start the show, okay?
Michael, you haven't talked about our go bags yet. Can you please tell the people what our go bags are?
Yeah, it's a 2-sided go bag. It's if you order now with your team membership, you will get a 2-sided go bag. The go bag includes airplane bottle shots of whiskey and or rum. You make the call, and we'll go ahead and decide what you deserve. Probably a mixture of both. It's going to be a small caliber handgun with no serial number. It's a Canadian passport, 28 feet of baling wire, and a water filtration system. You order now, we're also going to throw in a half a pack of half-smoked cigarettes. What kind, you ask? All of the kinds.
Now, keep in mind, we do make all of these ourselves. So the passport, the gun, they'll work. They'll get you there.
We believe in 2-sided to table when it comes to contraband. We are of the people, for the people, living among the people. You mean they've been living among us the whole time? That's
yes, Billy.
Way with it. Yes, Billy. All right, well, you need us. We'll be under Billy's bed.
Cheers, Billy.
Cheers, Billy. Bing, bing, bing. Okay, I'll wait up.
Just reached in my 2-sided pod gift bag and sparked up this TV, so
There you go.
but for you.
Totally forgot about that. In the early stages of the go bags, we had a lot of doobies and a few blunts. But then as we had those all stored ready to go, we would have to dip into the bags every once in a while and take out a blunt, take out a shot. So turns out we try to replace it with other things like I owe you one joint. Like, it's not as good, but it's super good memorabilia.
I would put in my personal drawings like these are going to be worth something one day. They're just like scribbles.
Yeah, I think I'm Picasso. Hey man, he started somewhere.
Pollock. No, I got a polyp on my butt.
Hey man, Hitler started somewhere, right? Horrible, bro. Fucking horrible, man. Boo, this man. Boo.
Today we're going to talk about Den Haag. Den Haag.
Gesundheit.
In English known as The Hague.
Oh, God. Okay. Okay, that's going to be super fun. Yeah, that's the Haag.
So the Hague is a city in the Netherlands, and from the city's official website, English edition, quote, did you know that The Hague is the largest city by the sea in the Netherlands and the greenest city of Europe, with a coastline that stretches no less than 11 kilometers, wide sandy beaches, beautiful dune areas, and many large parks? The Hague literally offers you a sea of space all year round. You can get to the beach from the city center within 15 minutes. The Hague stands for space, green, and all high-quality selection of art and culture.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. But sometimes if you're coming from Germany, we sometimes like to avoid there. We do like open spaces. Yeah, we do not like the beach. The Hague is very bad. We've had many friends come, visit, and not come back. So we will stick away. I will be in Argentina if you need me. Bye-bye.
So The Hague is the administrative capital of the country and the home of the court and government, although Amsterdam is the official capital of the Netherlands.
Woo! But they couldn't get anything done there court-wise. Like, they couldn't figure it out. I was like,
well, maybe it's the beautiful canals. Yeah, we come to Amsterdam a lot, but we do not go to The Hague. Yeah, nein.
These German guys are everywhere today.
Yeah. Oh, how are you? I'm just here for the conversation. Yeah. No, don't pay attention to me. I'm just here to hear what you have to say. Not to tell anyone back home, which is probably Brazil, where I'm from. Okay, Argentina. Oops.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bitteschön. I know nothing.
Also known as Gravenhag. So apostrophe S dash Gravenhag, which is kind of cool, which stands for the Count's private enclosure.
I was gonna say because it's nothing. It's just apostrophe S. So it's the possessive form of nothing. So nothing's gravitas. So that this is the nothingness, the grand gesture of nothing.
The hedge around nothing. That's basically it.
Yeah, that's good. I will write that down.
So Count William II built a castle there in 1248, and then several buildings clustered around, and then it became a principal residence of the Counts of Holland. So that's why the government gravitated there, even as Amsterdam, being the major port city, was the official capital from very early on, and just has maintained that status.
Well, it didn't have that beachfront property year round. You couldn't go from the city center to the beach in 15 minutes in Amsterdam. They didn't have a beach. They have canals. It seems silly now when you look back on it. Totally understand. City plan and all.
Right, yeah. It's also the home of the International Court of Justice, known as the ICJ, which is the principal judicial organ of the United Nations, and it was established in June of 1945 by a charter of the UN and began work in April of 1946.
They're the guys who took down the Legion of Doom, I heard, right?
Yes, very much so.
Go on.
So it's the Peace Palace is the court, the building that the court resides, literally called the Peace
Meanwhile,
Palace.
back at the Peace Palace.
Dun!
Now step forward the Legion of Doom. Bum, bum, bum.
Not guilty.
Jurors aghast at the Peace Palace. Bum, bum, bum.
So it is of the 6 principal organs of the United Nations. It's the only one not located in New York.
You keep saying organs. I know that's the term they use, but I don't like that you're saying it. You could say that.
That's okay.
The bodies, the limbs, the organs. Like, this is the liver. That's a kidney. I don't know where the other one is.
Vestules.
Vestibule?
Vestibules. That's it. Vestules. There's an apostrophe in there somewhere.
Vestibule. Yes, there you go. There's an apostrophe. It's nothingness around us again. John, we're getting nowhere.
So the court's role is to settle, in accordance with international law, legal disputes submitted by the states, and to give advisory opinions on legal questions referred to by authorized United Nations bodies, not organs, bodies, and specialized agencies. Yeah. It has 15 judges. They're elected for terms of office of 9 years by the General Assembly and Security Council.
And they were elected by the General Assembly and Security Council of the UN?
Yes.
And the 15 judges, are they specific judges as far as, like, in the legal sense, you have to be, a lawyer or someone from the legal background, or you're like, you know what? My buddy Jim, he judges people all the time, and I think he'd be a hell of a judge. He's not doing anything in the next 6 years. His wife went to prison.
I didn't look all the way back, but the recent judges have all been either lawyers or judges in their respective countries, previous to being judges here. So it looks very much like they are going through the proper channels.
All right, I'll tell Jim he has to figure something else out.
So Article 33 of the UN Charter is the one that set it up. Article 14 is the covenant of the League of Nations that gave the Council of the League responsibility for formulating plans and establishment of the Permanent Court of International Justice. So I'm telling you a little bit about its predecessors. So this is pre 1945-46. This is the Permanent Court of International Justice, also known as the PCIJ. This is its predecessor that was very much just like the current court, but faltered a little bit during World War II.
Okay. Did these guys write for like Hanna-Barbera or something? Or because all the naming conventions are very cartoonish to me. PCIJ! Oh, political justice in the League of Nations. Back.
Well, think of this. There are so many different languages that this has to be translated into. Wouldn't you want to be the most direct name whatsoever so that it is an easy translation no matter what language it goes into?
No, that seems totally contrary. I think everyone needs to learn a whole new language when they come to court here. We come up with something like Klingon, where we all have to learn Klingon. Right, everybody? No one's raising their hand because they don't speak our language. God damn it. We all need to learn Klingon. Back to the drawing board.
Right. So like I said, in 1939, the outbreak of the war really had serious consequences for the PCIJ, which had been experiencing a decline from the 1920s when it was first formed of its level of activity. But it was basically propagandized and corrupted. And in December 4th of 39, its last order was done, and it didn't have any more business for a while.
Yeah. We don't trust you guys. Too many acronyms floating around here around Holland. We don't need your kind of roaming around here judging us, says the international community. Ain't that right, John?
That's right. During the war, 1942, U.S. and U.K. said they wanted to reestablish some kind of international court. Other nations got on with it, and the China, USSR, they were all in 43 for a joint declaration of reorganizing this accord into something new. And after the war, the PCIJ met for the last time in October of 45 and resolved to transfer its archives and effects into the new International Court of Justice.
All of the Christmas decorations, they have to put up the tree, all the Hanukkah stuff and the Christmas stuff, the Kwanzaa stuff. It's very difficult to decorate for the holidays at the UN. That's all I'm saying. And now the PCIJ washes its hands clean. Good luck.
That's right. Now we have the ICJ. The first case was submitted May 1947, and it concerned the Corfu Channel and was brought by the United Kingdom against Albania. And that was the first case that it looked at.
Corfu Channel?
Yeah.
Say that again?
Corfu
Channel.
Yeah. Corfu, Corfu.
Okay. A channel, like the body of water. At first I was like, it was a station they were broadcasting. There was a...
Right. Yeah, a major throughway for transport ships.
Okay, gotcha. But the Corfu Channel, it has a lot of like ESPN3 kind of stuff, like the slap fights and old Ultimate Warrior stuff. Really good channel. Corfu 4. Look it up. Really good. Only on Spike.
So the International Criminal Court, ICC, in The Hague, prosecutes those accused of war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide.
Man, it's like bullshit that we have to have a court for people who do genocide. Like, there's enough of it going on. We had to establish a war crime genocide tribunal. Like, that's
international, right?
Right. It just seems kind of ridiculous. It just seems kind of like, hey, guys, come on, knock it off. Everyone chill out. Stop doing that.
So this started in 1998. This is actually somewhat new compared to
ICC.
The ICC compared to the ICJ, right? In 1998, 60 countries signed the Rome Statute after it was opened for signature by the United Nations. This laid the foundation for the establishment of the International Criminal Court in 2002.
When in Rome.
Mm-hmm. Its purpose is to investigate and prosecute war criminals. The weird thing is, it doesn't technically have. So the states that are part of the Rome Statute have not yet reached consensus on the definition and punishment for aggression. So until they do, the ICC is unable to actually prosecute individuals for acts of aggression. They're able to try them. They're able to tell a sentence, but the country those people are from have to agree with it, which they normally do. But that's a weird loophole. That, yeah.
Huh. Okay, that's interesting. I was gonna say, so you can be bribed, like it has to be a thing, or like they have to define what a war crime is. Like if I just nominate someone, like John's been kind of an asshole lately. Can you guys maybe look that up? Take him in, egg him up.
Well, no, they've defined those. What they haven't defined is the definition of and punishment for aggression. It's all about the punishment, right? It's all about the punishment. They know I didn't bring this in because it was really legalese, but war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide are very defined in this.
Right.
It's how to punish those who are found to be guilty of these crimes.
That's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I think it should be that the worst thing they did, that should be done slowly to them. Like, and like they have to pick the people to do it to them.
Yeah.
And you give them like a group of like 5. They're all family members.
This is going to be fun.
I'm just telling you, I could be a very good judge, John. If you just nominate me, I don't mind living in Holland.
That's why you're asking about the channels. Like, do they have to be lawyers?
No, it's my buddy Jim. It's not me. It's this guy I know.
So the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, settles disputes between countries, while the ICC prosecutes individuals for grave criminal acts. That's the difference between these two courts within this the Hague. Within the Hague.
Right. It's probably funny. They probably have to share like a break room, and the ICJ guys are like, "Man, you guys have all the good cases and all the good stuff." And like, yeah, but we don't know how to punish. And they're like, oh, we know how to punish up here. We know how to punish.
Yeah.
It's a whole Harry Met Sally break room vibe, John. Oh, to be a fly on the wall in the Hague. Am I right?
You're right.
I heard that. I heard that Ricky Gervais was just going to do a Hague version of The Office on the court system. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'd watch it.
It's good. It's going to be called IC Judges.
Right? Pretty good.
So we're just going to look at a couple of cases that they are currently overseeing.
All right. Before we do that, John, can we just go ahead and take a small break? Say, everyone who's listening, thank you so much for coming, and get your shots ready. We're probably going to need them after this goddamn first section. But if you're listening to us now, you can hit that link above and come onto our YouTube live and see what we're drinking, and actively the disdain that I have on my face when John rattles off so many years. It's pretty brilliant.
Yes, come unto us.
Come, look into my eyes. We will not hurt you. Oh, shit. All right, so we probably, know we should do a shot, and I'll talk about it. Check on the YouTubes and see if anyone's talking to us bad about us.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for listening. Whoa. So, we got L. Bruner, who said, cool, thanks. And Cannabis Conundrum that's saying, watch the chat, guys. We're watching the chat. Cool. Great. Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for watching us live on the YouTubes.
YouTubes. All right, John, let's talk about those horrible cases you brought so gravely to the table.
You know, it's funny because I picked, okay, so the first one, November 22nd, the Court of The Hague ruled that the FNV, which is a union, has to call on its members to not participate in actions that do not comply with the conditions that Post NL, Netherlands, Post NL, had put in place to safeguard essential services such as medical deliveries and morning mail, and to ensure a safe work environment for employees. These conditions apply until the 6th of January, 2023.
So they can't take that stuff away until 2023.
They are saying, we as an international court say, you union, you need to tell your people to not comply with anything that is not part of what your workplace, Post NL, is saying is good for safeguard essentials.
Well, of course.
Right.
Because they haven't negotiated correctly. John, it's all about you gotta sit at the table, man. You gotta talk to me, baby. Come on, look at me now. How much is it gonna cost? I'm just saying, I'm the ICJ. I don't think you understand what power we wield. I would not mess with these guys. They've really fucked up some of my friends, yeah. I'll be back over here quietly, yeah.
Another thing that they oversaw, November 23rd article from Al Jazeera. Quote, a court in the Netherlands has ruled that a 2007 bombing of a residential compound in Afghanistan by Dutch forces was unlawful, and it ordered the country to pay compensation to the victims' families. The District Court of The Hague on Wednesday found that the nighttime attack that killed about 20 civilians violated international humanitarian law.
Okay, so I didn't know, which is so weird, okay? Because you don't hear about this kind of shit. Like I just found out that we were ordered to pay reparations to Vietnam, and we reneged and like didn't, and like, oh my God. But yeah, basically they took us to court and said like, and we pulled an OJ. We moved to Florida. Fucking went on with life, baby.
If I did it,
Yeah.
how I did it.
Yeah. Look at the shape we're in now, just like OJ. See, everybody gets their comeuppance.
Bloated in Vegas, baby. Bloated in Vegas.
Everybody needs to listen to ICJ. We'd all be better off. You too, OJ.
Well, and just to point this out, that's the Dutch is the Netherlands. So it's not their country, right? They are truly international. They are saying this country needs to do it while they are sitting within that country.
Oh, the Dutch. Don't get me started on the Dutch, John. Those wooden shoe wearing motherfuckers. You think you're better than me? Oof. Like I don't have flat feet. Like I don't have bunions. Like I don't have web toes. You think I can just fit into these wooden shoes and cloppity clop all around and sniff the daffodils? I don't have time for that. Thank you very much, Dutch.
Stop clogging up the streets. Another one.
City Dutch listening.
Amsterdam's a beautiful city. Love the canals. From the Human Rights Watch website. Quote, the states parties to the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court will meet from December 5th through 10th, 2022 in The Hague for an annual session of the Assembly of State Parties, ASP. Yeah. They love their acronyms.
And they love their parties. Shit gets wild there. Karen from HR totally flashed the entire staff from research. It was crazy.
This July marked the 20th anniversary of the entry into force of the Rome Statute, the ICC's founding treaty. The assembly session takes place at a moment of renewed attention on the role of the court. The expansion of the conflict in Ukraine in February of 2022 has generated a strong response from the international community, including through the swift activation of several mechanisms that could contribute to delivering justice for victims of serious international crimes. On March 2nd, the ICC prosecutor announced the opening of an investigation into the situation of Ukraine following a referral by an unprecedented number of state parties.
Well, yeah, dude, this is the first, because it's the time we live in, man. It's the same thing as like growing up in high school. In college, you could do things and get away with things. Now you cannot do anything without someone filming you, or being a camera somewhere, something, a license plate reader, something. Like you are never not being watched. And this is the first time, like really, we have gotten people who have, a war with people, citizens that are really like showing what is happening. Like the Middle East, not something we saw bits and pieces, but it was all through the news. Well, embedded journalists and what was let out, because they had such a lock on the system. They didn't have internet freedom. Over in the Ukraine, it was like people were doing their YouTube shit live. They were like, it was crazy. So you can't get away with this stuff. Like, bro, you can't get away with it.
Right.
Oof. Meanwhile, back at the Hall of Justice, we're sharpening our knives, you Kremlin sons of bitches.
So last case looking at from the New Voice of Ukraine. Quote, the District Court of The Hague in the Netherlands has sentenced 3 suspects in the downing of Malaysia Airlines flight MH17 to life imprisonment. The court announced November 17th. 3 of the suspects, I'm not going to butcher their names, have been found guilty of 298 charges of murder, 1 for every passenger and crew member on the flight. Another suspect was acquitted by the court, which decided there is no evidence directly establishing this person's personal involvement in the crime. There's a lot more information, but that's the gist. This has been going on for a while. It was tried to be blocked by Russian officials. In 2014, the official investigation started. In 2016, they were found guilty a little while ago, and the life imprisonment sentence just came out a couple days ago.
And in 2 weeks, they're going to meet their dementors. Ooh, it's going to be awesome. To Azkaban with you.
And finally, from a November 18th Washington Post article, quote, Jack Smith, the special counsel tasked with investigating the former president's possible mishandling of classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago club and residence and key aspects of the January 6th probe, is a longtime federal prosecutor and seasoned investigator.
Is that part of the... Wait, I thought that was there was a special counsel that was assigned, but that's a special counsel through the ICJ?
It is not. Let me continue. So, okay. Mr. Smith, the head of this special counsel, quote, Mr. Smith will begin his work as special counsel immediately and will be returning to the United States from The Hague. Merrick Garland said Friday afternoon in announcing his choice of Smith, who previously served as a war crimes prosecutor with the International Criminal Court. Quote, Throughout his career, Jack Smith has built a reputation as an impartial and determined prosecutor who leads teams with energy and focus to follow the facts wherever they lead, end quote.
What was that with a name like Jack Smith? Come on, that's a no nonsense there. His parents were not, it's like they didn't have time. Jack, John, Bill, big boys, let's go.
So Smith's career as a prosecutor began in Manhattan in the early 90s, where he earned a reputation as a hard worker. He went on to spend nearly a decade as a federal prosecutor in Brooklyn, where he spent his time as the head of criminal litigation. In that position, Smith oversaw about 100 criminal prosecutors working on varied areas, including terrorism, violent crimes, and gangs, along with white-collar crimes.
Those turned out to be my favorite lately, the white-collar ones.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that. Like, less work, no one gets hurt. I mean, emotionally. But
people get horribly hurt from white-collar crimes.
But come on, John. You don't got to look at them.
But indirectly, right.
Yeah.
Indirectly.
It's not like they're screaming in pain and bleeding out. That's the kind of thing we try to avoid these days.
In white-collar crimes, it's called fallout. In blue-collar crimes, it's called murder.
It's just, as long as it's how you determine your terminology. Like, they were insurgents. They were innocents. They both start with an I.
So Smith left the job in Brooklyn in 2008 to become a war crimes prosecutor for the ICC. He returned to the Justice Department in 2010, taking over the public integrity section at a time when it had been battered by an embarrassing reversal of the conviction of Senator Ted Stevens of Alaska.
Yes, the old Alaskan Stevens.
So at that time, Smith described taking a fiercely independent view of his job. Quote, if I were the sort of person who could be cowed, I know we should bring this case, I know the person did it, but we could lose and that will look bad, I would find another line of work, end quote, he told the New York Times.
Yeah, that's kind of what work is. If anything you do in life is going to make you look bad if you screw it up, don't screw it up. That's
right,
kind of
but do it. Yeah, do it. Yeah.
That's like
so quote
every surgeon. That's risky. You know what? I'm gonna Pontius Pilate my way out of this. My hands are clean.
Your hands should be clean. You're a surgeon.
Well, looks kind of risky. I'm gonna be in the snack bar if you need me. Let me know how it goes.
So to finish that quote, I can't imagine how someone who does that, what I do or has worked with me could think that. Talking about being someone who could be cowed, someone who could be intimidated ultimately. So he left the agency in 2017 and returned to The Hague in 2018. At the ICC, he was recently investigating war crimes committed in Kosovo.
Nice. Nice. But I guess he got this called as a coast of open weight. There's bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that is the special counsel looking into those things.
Nice. That's the Haag for you.
Haag.
Haag. Haag.
We got a couple of messages.
Pop them, baby. Pop them.
Oh my God, this is so funny that you guys are talking about drawings. We do girl gifts, and it had to be homemade or cheap or whatever.
Awesome.
And so I literally drew 13 fucking Christmas drawings and laminated them and put them in cards. And I was like, this is so fucking cringe. You're going to fucking hate it. They loved them when they realized it was all different images, and then I hand painted them. They were all like,
that's awesome.
What'd you get? Made me feel like $1 million. It was good.
Hell yeah. I love that. I love that shit.
It's Julie Prince here from Gosport. Set my alarms so that I can get off and listen to you guys. So I've gone into the spare bedroom to listen to you. Oh, it feels like a midnight feast.
It is the season. 'Tis the season to indulge, one says. Oh, don't mind if one does. Hey, Julie, how's it going? Good to see you.
Jack Smith sounds an awful lot like Fox Mulder, FBI.
Right? The truth is out there, John L. Peacock. The truth is out there. I'm Jack Smith.
I want to believe.
And I do believe. Jack Smith, I'm running for the Haag. I approve that Haag.
Make a run for the Haag.
We stop by Taco Bell. All right, but we're swinging by the Haag on the way, making a break for the border, and then the Haag.
Well, I mean, that's going to lead us directly into our next lightning round.
Lightning! You guys are a little funnier now. I guess I'll come back if you keep it lighthearted. Wow, wow, wow.
You've been enjoying that bottle of turkey there. I see there, lightning round.
I've been drinking. You've been laughing. We've all had a good time. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm the lightning guy.
Happy Thanksgiving, lightning round guy.
Happy Thanksgiving, lightning round, guys. It's always good to have him in Haag spirits.
Yeah. Because when he's depressed, he sucks.
Well, you guys keep it lighthearted and I won't have to get all cranky.
Okay. Act.
Well, this lightning round segment is one of your favorites in mine. That's right. It's accented answers. That's right. I'm going to be asking my boy Pete questions and also be giving him an accent in which to respond to said questions.
The tongue, the teeth, the tip of the lips. The tongue, the teeth, the tip of the lips. La la Lucy, Luke, I am your father. Everybody, pour a shot. We're going to drink. Down the hatch, tongue, teeth, tip of the lips. All right, John, let's do a shot. Everybody, do a shot. All right, warm it up.
Hold on.
Here we go.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. Bing, bing, bing. Okay.
British, my boy Pete. What is generally the stated purpose of the American Thanksgiving holiday? British, my boy Pete.
The stated purpose is when those pilgrims left, the ingrates they were, they went across and couldn't make it. That's where the Indians came in, apparently, and helped them live. Oh, it was splendid. Marvelous.
Okay. Thank you, British, my boy Pete. You're excused. You could go away now.
Wow. That was a tough one. Tongue, teeth, tip of the lips. La la Luke. Ready, go.
Canadian, my boy Pete. Canadian, my boy Pete. What is the general reason why most Americans actually celebrate the holiday today?
Football. Okay. The whole thing, they like to get together and have twofers. Sometimes you smoke a stogie, but every time you're watching the footballs, Yep. Also, they eat a lot of turkey, lots of gravy, but mainly footballs, eh?
Oh, Canadian, my boy Pete. Your Canadian Thanksgiving is about a month before ours. Why do you guys celebrate?
Oh, hockey, eh? That's what that's about. A lot of times when we come off the ice, we're hot and we're hungry. That's when we say, "Oh, I'm so thankful that there is a hot bowl of gravy, a boy." Eh? And I come home, take off my skates, and I drink the gravy. That's what that's about.
Oh, do you have poutines?
Oh no, we drink a lot of Canadian goose. Up here, we just call it goose, eh? That's a joke from Canada. That's what we call it.
Oh no, do you have any poutines right now? I'm really hungry. Anyway, okay, all right, you're dismissed. Hey, German, my boy Pete. German, my boy Pete. What are some classic regional dishes associated with this holiday?
Oh, yeah, I thought you would never ask, John. Here's the deal. I've been listening the whole time. I hear they say that everybody loves the good poutine. Yeah, that's a good. No? Okay. Cream corn, yeah. There is also the sweet potato with the how you say marshmallow. Oh yeah, it's very good. Yeah, your doctor will be very upset when you have the diabetes from all of the sugar. Yeah, Americans, you all have diabetes. That's what we say. We make joke. Don't tell them in the Haag.
Okay, you are very much excused, German, my boy Pete. All right, and finally, the final, my boy Pete. What is your favorite American Thanksgiving dish? The Soviet spy planted into the USA, my boy Pete.
Okay, no problem. I never said I was good spy. I come over. Look, I'm very, very American. Okay, I like football. No one suspects. They think I'm normal guy from Brooklyn. They say, hey, he probably drives cab. I'm like, hey, probably drives cab. Little do they know. Here's what I think that my favorite is. I like the shish kebab on the street. It's very nice. It's very good meat. That is how they talk. Yeah.
For Thanksgiving, that's your favorite dish?
In Mother Russia, we don't have Thanksgiving. We give thanks we are alive. But my favorite dish, I like a borscht. I like a very good cold onion. It's very nice. Sometimes this cabbage, if too warm, too hot, no good. Mainly is I like gravy. Everyone likes gravy. It's very good with borscht. But after Thanksgiving,
you're a terrible spy.
Nobody knows. Here in America, they are so dumb. You just say things like this. They go, oh, no problem. Crazy neighborhood cab driver. I don't even have cab. It's crazy. Anyway, you have any secret I can have? Nuclear, preferably? Something about your friend? What about your mother's maiden name and your last 4 digits of social security?
No, but check out people in Florida. I hear a couple of them have a lot of things for you.
Okay. All right. I will go and see what is happening. Hey, thank you for having me. I'm just normal Joe, American guy. Very good, John. Good times. Good times.
All right. Thank you. You're dismissed. All right. Hey. All right.
You know, someone needs to go to camp. Somebody needs to admit their shortcomings in life and stop while they're ahead, but somebody just won't do it. I can still fit into a medium too. I'm funny, I can do accents. No, motherfucker, you're not. You can't. I don't need to say it to myself. Yes, you do. Whatever.
I will say for the holiday, I only gave you softballs. I knew you were good at all these accents at one point.
At one point in your life. I know, John. John, I lost a step. I don't know what it is. It could be the drinking. It could be the malfeasance. It could be criminal mischief. We just don't know. We're going to get better. What's my wish for the holidays? To get better. At what? Life. Tell me how that goes.
Well, if you like what you're hearing right now, there is more two-sided out there. I have a little spiel I can read, or my boy Pete could tell you about it.
How about we all let John read his spiel and we can all talk along with it and use the same one. These are when we need to have the dubbed recordings where we hit the button. It's like, hey, everybody, and any place you get your podcasts, we are the Two-Sided Pod. That's TW and 8 p.m. And blah, blah, blah. Also, look for a beautiful munch. Doesn't hurt you, it only hurts us. John, read it.
I haven't read it in a while, so yeah, I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
We are currently recording each episode of the Two-Sided Podcast live on the Stereo app every Thursday starting at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, which is also live streamed on our YouTube channel. Two-Sided Podcast, our handle is TWO-Sided Pod, all one word.
Anything can happen because it's live. We can just jump in and say, shit, balls, fuck, and John loses his place.
We're on Patreon, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Two-Sided Pod, TWO-Sided Pod, all one word. We also have a Gmail for anyone who to suggest a topic or to come on to our Tuesday Open Chat stereo shows, twosidedpod@gmail.com, TWO-sidedpod@gmail.com. And finally, our podcast has gone viral. You can listen to Two-Sided on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, Anchor, and wherever you get your podcasts. We'd love if you follow and rate us, and while you're rating us, you might as well give us 5 stars. It doesn't hurt you. It only helps us. And also subscribe and hit that alert on YouTube. We thank you kindly.
It's the last fucking paragraph that drives me nuts. It doesn't hurt you. It only helps us. And while you're at it, hit that alert. We thank you kindly. Like, God damn it. My grandma used to say, my dad's mom, she would, before she spanked the kids, she said, this is going to hurt you a lot more than it's going to hurt me.
Well, she was finally honest. Most people in that situation are not.
Fucking psychological warfare, grandma. That's some shit. She's like, your mother's going to cry when she sees what I've done to you. But don't do it then. You shouldn't have done that. Okay, I'll learn. See, John, that's what you get in my house for spilling paint in the garage. Yeah, you know what I got for my fifth Christmas? Fifth Christmas?
Fifth Christmas.
Smokes.
You're so progressive.
Yeah.
You're a man now.
Yeah. And my second breakfast, we had crepes. My fifth Christmas, I was a man. At bar mitzvah time, John, I'm looking forward to my dude like quinceañera.
And one last check-in on our YouTubes live. After Cannabis Conundrum said, watch the chat, guys. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, hey, we're watching the chat. We're watching for you. And we'd love if you join us, those who are listening not live right now. Two-Sided Pod, TWO-Sided Pod on YouTube. You'll find us, and you'll see our lovely faces.
What are you going to say lovely and beautiful every time you describe anything that is coming out of these cameras, John? Like, it's just, I feel like your level of self-awareness is so mistaken. Like, your ideas are so broken.
That's okay.
Hey, have you ever seen where you're in like your local Circle K, 7-Eleven, your Quick Stop, your whatever, the corner store, the liquor store, and they have all your bullshit magazines in the entire, there's one of them that is just mugshots. You can buy a little thing that's just mugshots.
Really? No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's they're all like funny captions, but it's like a yearbook, but they're all real mugshots. Because you can, state of California, you can pick anyone's mugshot, like once they're all public domain.
Right.
Which is
that only state of No, that's normal, right?
I think so. I'm 99% sure.
I've seen all those musicians who have their mugshots, like Frank Sinatra and Johnny Cash, right? Yeah, those famous mugshots.
There's a restaurant in San Diego, fucking great Mexican restaurant that the entire wallpaper is every musician's mugshot from when they were arrested from all through time, and you can buy some of their T-shirts have some of the stars on there. Like Morrison is one of them, but yeah, some great ones. He was arrested in what? Vegas? No, Arizona. He was arrested in Tucson.
Jim Morrison?
Yeah. Tucson? Yeah. He was
for pot?
No, for drunk for being intoxicated. He was drunk on a plane, and they had to land, and they pulled him off. He was on his way to a festival.
On his way to perform.
No, I don't think he was on his way to perform. So I think he was on his way to see someone.
Okay.
But he was on his way. Yeah, it was in the Southwest. I want to say Arizona, like Tucson. I want to say. Yeah, because I don't think it was Vegas. I don't think you could get arrested in Vegas. I don't think you can do that.
Well, back in the day, there was the big sign, right? Possession will get you 20 years max. Selling marijuana will get you life. Remember that huge sign as you entered Vegas? Like that was forever. That was until I think they took it out in the 90s.
Yeah, dude. No, that was rough because I remember working there. I remember going there for work and having a shit ton of weed where I wasn't technically selling it. I was giving it to my buddy and he was getting money from his buddy and I was going to get the money from him. So kind of like, but also I was having weed and smoking in the hotels. I was like, I didn't realize that, it's fine as Vegas, baby.
I was basically a pencil pusher, but the pencil was a large amount of marijuana and the pushing was, that was pushing.
That was, all right, so here's the deal. You guys like pencils, right? Anyway, signs down, game on.
Game on. We got one message and we're going to go into our last segment.
Perfect, baby.
Hey guys, good evening, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
Gobble, gobble.
Shots.
Yes.
You used, back before COVID, you used to be able to go to Circle K and get the latest mug shots of anybody that got arrested within the last month.
Yep.
I don't know if they still do that. I haven't seen it. I've been looking for it. But I think maybe a lot of places do that, or used to anyway.
Yeah. That's fun as shit. Like if you do a bathroom reading, don't take your phone in there. Open the mugshot book. It's fun. Especially if you go back here, if you're still in the same town you grew up in, or if you like can get one from the town you like, oh shit, yeah. Where are they now? Like all of my that's perfect. See, Mom, he's a doctor, but he got arrested for selling opioids, Mom. Look at that. Who's a better person now?
I get to keep up with my high school friends and not through the obits. All right.
Perfect. Nailed it.
I do have I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if I fully agree with that. In Rhode Island, it's fully legal for the local papers to publish not only the name, the crime they were arrested for, just in the arrest, but also their address. And they do that constantly. And I think that's like a horrible invasion because a lot of those arrests do not lead to convictions,
right?
But they're in the paper. And so it's in Rhode Island's a lot of small cities, small towns, even. Like so I haven't seen this, but as you both are talking about, I'm like, you know what? I get the allure, but also I get like, come on.
Right. No, it's bad news because anytime you get popped, it's like, anyone who gets a DUI, anyone who gets a whatever.
And Arizona's horrible for that, right? It's the hardest state in the union for it, or at least was under Ohio, right?
Right. Yeah, that's a horrible thing. But at the same time, they're trying to use it as like, well, if you don't like that, then don't get your picture taken. Well, I wouldn't get my picture taken if the cops weren't such dicks. That's all I'm saying. Look at my hands, officer. You're a dick.
Look at my hands.
Not with my hands. You're a dick. Don't shoot me. You're a dick.
Now, we've never been in that situation, but let's just create a hypothetical. Hypothetically, if you were in that situation, how would you do your mugshot? Like, what face would you give for the mugshot? Especially knowing, like, you could become a famous musician after your mugshot's taken, like Frank Sinatra, right? And so you want it to, it might get out there, it might be a big thing. So, how would your mugshot be?
No, it would literally be like the same, like one eyebrow that I give, like when I'm pointing. Like, can you not point at the camera? What is it? Oh, hey,
head straight. Turn to the right.
Stop saying 1, 2, 3, snap. 1, 2, 3, snap. 1, 2, 3, snap. They catch you mid where your one eye is open and your mouth is like, and you look like you're stroking out. That's the mugshot. But therefore, John, no one's ever going to see it. Like, I can't believe they're bringing in this guy, and he was driving. He looks like he can't walk. Hold him still. We got to take a picture.
Prop him up.
Oh, Grenade, that's beautiful, dude. Woo!
Well, for our final segment of the evening, we're going to talk about Fleetwood Mac.
Okay. One, I went to the 3 for each other. We are one. I was listening to that song for fucking ever. We are one. We are two together. We are 3 sheets to the wind.
Forever. You've been listening to that forever.
We're for each other. We are some. And then they got into like weird sex relationships and fucked the whole band up, right? Like
that's
every
right.
big band. Peter, Paul, and Mary. Fucking Bob Marley and the Wailers.
The Mamas and the Papas.
The Eagles. It's all riddled with sexual conquest.
Well, the Mamas and the Papas, their original name was the Men and the Women, but then sex stuff happened, so they had to be the Mamas and the Papas.
Yeah. Can't stop, won't stop. Get it. Exactly. When in Tour, when in Rome.
While most bands undergo a number of changes over the course of their careers, few of them have experienced more radical stylistic evolution than Fleetwood Mac.
I'm all ears. I'm listening.
So Fleetwood Mac is a British-American rock band formed in London in 1967. It was founded by guitarist Peter Green, drummer Mick Fleetwood, and guitarist Jeremy Spencer before bassist John McVie joined the lineup for their self-titled debut album. Danny Kirwan joined as the third guitarist in '68, and keyboardist Christine Perfect, later known as Christine McVie, who contributed as a session musician from the second album, married John McVie and joined in 1970.
Wasn't so perfect after all, was she, John?
It's a great name, though. Christine Perfect.
That's made up. That's going to be one of my cosplay characters.
It couldn't have been made up because she didn't. She took her married name. Like if you make up a name, you keep it.
No, you don't, because if you're brainwashed that much by the Fleetwood Mac, when you get a McVeigh offer that you can't refuse, you leave the perfect life behind. You McVeigh your way all the way, baby.
So in '67, the former members of John Mayall's Blues Breakers, the guitarist Green, drummer Fleetwood, and bassist John McVie. Is it McVie? I'm sorry. I realize I have only looked at the names and I'm kind of being stupid right now, and I'm going to show my ignorance. I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to power through and be completely wrong. McVie. Come on, Pete. I thought you knew this. I thought you would just berate me right now.
John, you know how.
Well, we're let's get McVeigh. McVeigh sounds fun.
No, because McVeigh. What's the problem, McVeigh?
McVeigh?
Marty McVeigh. Hey, who's home? Anybody home, McVeigh? Hey.
Let's just agree on one right now. What do you like better, McVeigh or McVeigh? I'm very visual.
It's Joni. Perfect. Wait, what was her name?
No, it's Christine.
Christine.
And John. Christine and John.
Christine. Yeah, quiet. So it's Christine Perfect. It's hard for you to keep up. I'm just very visual. Up. Shut up. Keep your hands down. Christine Perfect. She would be a Christine Perfect. She would not do it for McVeigh. She would do it for McVeigh. Christine McVeigh. McVeigh is my final answer.
Oh. McVeigh it is.
So who's going to tell us right now? Make
We've decided.
Hold the phone.
V.
There we go. Yep. That is.
Oh, McVie. So something that neither of the one in between. McVeigh. McVie.
Yeah. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, hadn't have done. Good.
Let's go with that one.
Yep.
So they found instant success during the British blues boom with their debut album, Fleetwood Mac, and the hit single Albatross in 1968.
Was a bad sign for a sailor, John. Go ahead.
So thereafter, the band experienced more moderate success while undergoing multiple personnel changes. So the departure of all three guitarists, the addition of McVie's wife, keyboardist, vocalist, songwriter, Christine Perfect. And at that time, it was primarily a British blues band, but Fleetwood Mac, while that time, Fleetwood Mac scored a UK #1 with Albatross and had other hits singles such as Oh Well and Man of the World. When the three guitarists left during the early 1970s, they were replaced by guitarist Bob Welch, Bob Weston, and vocalist Dave Walker.
Okay, I was unaware. I did not. I'll be honest, John. I have not. I've not gone through deeply for Fleetwood Mac's whole discography and their whole. I know them from like 77 on.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Why? Because I'm dumb, John? Why? Is that a fucking...
No, I'm actually giving the groundwork of what most people don't know, especially here in the States, because most people know them from kind of 77 on. And so 74... Right. So the people I just talked about, you don't need to remember their names because all three of them had either departed or been dismissed. So three guitarists left. These three came in. They all left, leaving the band without a male lead vocalist or guitarist.
Right, because they all went to work at the ICJ before the ICC was formed. And they're like, we need a contract. And like, you know what? These guys are free. And that's where that started. So now we're in 74, where heroes are hard to find, John.
That's right. And in 74, they moved to the United States. And Fleetwood was scouting studios in Los Angeles. Mick Fleetwood was introduced to American folk rock duo Lindsey Buckingham of Palo Alto, California, and Stevie Nicks of Phoenix, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Fleetwood Mac soon asked Buckingham to be their new lead guitarist, and Buckingham agreed on the condition that Nicks would also join the band.
That's awesome. You get me, but she's coming too.
Which, if you hear that without knowing who the person is, you're like, oh, bonk. Right. We have this great guy, but we have this horrible, I'm a singer. Ah! But it's Stevie Nicks, so it's gold that they just got by that little thing.
Right. It's how I've gotten every one of my gigs. John's like, I'm not coming unless my wife Pete comes. Like, we'll pay double if you don't bring him. He's like, I'll see you in a couple of weeks, Pete.
So the addition of Buckingham and Nicks gave the band a more pop rock sound, and their 1975 self-titled album, again, Fleetwood Mac, new band, same name, same album, reached #1 in the United States.
That was when you we can John, you can go your own way.
You can't go your own way.
Just let you know.
In 1977, Rumors, Fleetwood Mac's second album after the arrival of Buckingham and Nicks, produced 4 U.S. top 10 singles and remained at number 1 on the American Albums Chart for 31 weeks. It also reached the top spot in various countries around the world and won a Grammy Award for Album of the Year in '78.
Shit.
This is what really introduced the American populace to the Fleetwood Mac that we know today. 1977's Rumors. Rumors sold
That's
over
when they
40
really started going their own way, John. You got to give a comeback joke, pull back in there, take a breath every once in a while. Go ahead.
It sold over worldwide, making it one of the best-selling albums in history. So the band went through personal turmoil while recording this album, as both the romantic partnerships in the band, John and Christine McVie, and the other being Buckingham and Nicks, separated while continuing to make music together.
You know, the whole thing is hard to separate business from pleasure. Like you can't put a genie back in a bottle. You can't, John, you can't unfuck a work associate.
Isn't it unring a bell?
No, it's unfuckable. Like it's not they're unfuckable. It's like you can't unfuck someone.
Right. Yeah.
And you can't undo it. Like, oh shit. So you guys ready to go back to the studio? Because that's not going to be weird or anything.
And you're right.
Your own way. Go your own way.
Do you personally know of any band that broke up because of something similar to this in any way whatsoever?
Personally?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, right.
That's the thing.
They even said the Beatles kind of had a thing about that. They even say that the Beatles kind of, whether that is true or not.
Don't even start me going with Yoko. But all I'm saying, you know my rules about bowling, right? You're on a bowling league. I'm down for we bowl mixed bowling league, but we only bowl with chicks that no one is in a relationship with. None of the guys can be with any of the girls we're bowling with. Not that that's bad, but if you get into a relationship and you have an argument or you have too much fun or something, and you either miss bowling or you fuck bowling up, both of you are on the shit list in the bowling god community. That's why I can't bowl anymore.
Right.
It's too emotional. That's why I can't do yoga anymore. I get too stressed
emotional.
Too emotional. The line getting in makes me all fucking punchy. I can't do my downward dog.
So the crazy thing is, and I think the reason why we know Fleetwood Mac today is because they are a weird exception. So according to biography article entitled Fleetwood Mac, Behind the Drama, Divorce, and Drugs That Fueled the Making of Rumors. That's the article title. While recording, quote, while recording the 1977 album professionally, the band was on top, but personally, things were falling apart. When you combine a huge recording budget with sex, drugs, and rock and roll, then add in jealousy.
I would love to. John, can we do that? Can we do a big budget with sex, drugs, rock and roll? Because I like pretty much all of those things. I want a bigger budget. I need more drugs and sex. And I like rock and roll. Can we make that work?
See, the article saying this is the good stuff, and then add in jealousy, infidelity, and divorce between members of the band, no less. It hardly sounds like a recipe for a successful album. The fact that Rumors, Fleetwood Mac's hit album, was ever finished, let alone stayed atop the charts for 31 weeks, winning the Grammy for Album of the Year, and became one of the biggest selling albums of all time. The testament is a testament to the artistry of the individuals comprising the group, and gives credence to the notion that through adversity, great things can emerge.
Poor shit. That's pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Hey, just because your wife fucked somebody else doesn't mean you can't make a beautiful song and sing about it on an album to get money.
With your wife? with your wife.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that. That's stupid. Just because I hate the way they say that. No, like that's not a musical. That's someone who's disconnected in their head. Like it's not. They're not having a conversation. Like, you know what? The art comes first. That is a group of people who are okay, not okay. But there's a group of individuals, and I'm not saying no judgment, but there's a certain mindset of like, oh, we're swingers, or we share partners with other partners, or there's like, oh, I have these people come and these people come. Like, there's no jealousy. It's like it just kind of, there's no ownership of a thing. Hey man, we're all of the world and be part of the world, man. Come and go, baby. I get it, but that's not because your art comes first. It's because you don't have an attachment in that way, that you're okay, that it's not going to kill you. Like, cool, fuck it, whatever. I'm going to smoke a little more, do some more drugs, and let's make this goddamn album. Fucking doves fly, baby. Doves go where they need to. Turns out I'm a dove too.
So, some specifics. Married for almost 8 years, Christine and John entered the studio at the point of divorce for this album. So, adhering to the notion of British reserve, the former couple stayed silent around each other, avoiding contact other than during work sessions. The situation further deteriorated when Christine began openly dating the band's lighting director.
Bitch. That lighting director, that guy was a bitch. The lights weren't even good. They were recording. Who needs lights when you're recording? Awful. He's even there. Bullshit.
Nix and then longtime lover and musical partner Buckingham had also recently called it quits. Opposite to the McVies, there were reported shouting matches between the American exes, which only ceased when the recording light turned on.
Because that's American fighting. That's like, we're still trying to get in this.
The Brits versus the Americans, so like quintessential. We will be silent and not be around each other, but very professional. The Americans, screw you!
Right. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and let's go.
Never break the chain. Never break the chain.
Never break. I'll break your fucking face. Are we clear? Yeah.
So also, just before recording began, Mick Fleetwood, had become aware that his wife and mother of their 2 children was having an affair with a close friend, and divorce would soon follow. So if the intra-band relationships weren't already convoluted, Fleetwood and Nix would embark on a short-lived love affair by the year's end.
Hell yeah. Drugs, baby. Fucking woo! 70s were an awesome time.
So such high emotions would ultimately result in hit songs with brutally honest lyrics, a confessional recorded on vinyl laying out the group's innermost thoughts and feelings. Go Your Own Way was Buckingham's strident response to the disintegration of his relationship with Nix. Don't Stop was Christine's ode to looking ahead in life, while You Make Loving Fun was a celebration of her newfound romance away from her ex-husband, John. And then the big one, The Chain. The Chain was the group's joint anthem regarding betrayal.
100%. And that, oh my God, it's so good because, all right, you're going to make me sing back up on this? Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to eat this one today in the studio. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a song that you're going to have to sing back up on. Oh, it's going to be uncomfortable. You want me to tell you about it? Well, I don't know about it yet, but when I get to the studio tomorrow, the fucking lighting director's going to hear about it. Believe that.
Yeah. If you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. And it's the male vocalist with the female vocalist mirroring it. And so everyone who's involved in some kind of divorce is singing this basically to each other.
It's like when I was going through whatever I had of a thing of a stuff. You know what? No, I can say I'm a divorced man. How about that? That's as much information as I'm giving it to you. Fuck off.
Right.
When I was going through mine, when I was doing company and playing Bobby.
Yeah.
And got involved in a relationship with what's her name? Susie, the bride.
Amy.
And so that whole thing of her doing and we're having the realistic thing and trying to do music through that of like, it takes you away in a thing like to a place like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
I'll come back. I can beat a different character tomorrow. You don't even understand. 3, 2, 1. Never break the chain.
So everybody was pretty weirded out, Christine said at the time. Somehow Mick was there, the figurehead. We must carry on. Let's be mature about this. Sort it out. Somehow we waded through it, but her response to Rolling Stone magazine right before the album was released, before people heard it, she's like, it was drama. So people knew and kind of expected, I don't know. I don't think that people who knew about the drama before they heard the thing would have been expecting greatness, but it was great and it was accepted and it was a huge, huge hit.
Hear me out. What if this was all marketing? What if they were all in it to begin with? Like, all right, here's what's going to happen. See, it's all soap opera. It's wrestling. It's WWF musical style, right? This is they were way before their time. And then before the album came out, they're like, why don't you go and do that Rolling Stone interview? No one's heard it. Tell them what it's like. Drama. What the fuck? We have to listen to this album. We have to go buy this vinyl from our local record store. That's what all the kids would say.
I can see that. Yeah.
I don't know, John.
I mean, not the actual things happening, but the Christine McVie's interview. I can see that. Sure.
Okay, I'm with that. But yeah, it's the whole Blair Witch Project over again.
I'm so scared.
Exactly. Drama.
So here's another thing. Rumors producer and engineer Ken Kylett described the drug use as having an Atlantic divide. Quote, there were blues Fleetwood Mac from England. They were boozers and pretty much all what they did, Kylett said in a Huffington Post article in 2012. And there, quote, and there were California Fleetwood Mac. They were the pot-smoking hippies with Lindsay and Stevie. And then the cocaine entered the picture. So it was booze versus pot, really, with a little cocaine cocktail.
Yay! I'm just saying, why can't we all just get along? Isn't this an album? Isn't this a studio where we should all get along? Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers do drugs.
Immediately following the album release, Candid Nix told Rolling Stone she, quote, didn't care that everybody knows me and Chris and John and Lindsay all broke up, because we did, so that's a fact. She added that the majority of the songs she wrote for the album, quote, are definitely about people in the band. Chris's relationships, John's relationship, Mick's relationship, Lindsay's and mine. They're all there and very honest, and people will know exactly what I am talking about. People will really enjoy listening to what happened since the last album, end quote.
Jesus. Yeah, that's soap opera shit.
Yeah.
You'll never believe what happens to Luke and Laura. Oh my God. My telenovelas, my stories, wait till you get a load of this.
So after that, each member had his or her own manager. Nix was becoming the group's breakaway star. Buckingham was obsessive with the studio, and each member was suffering from various substance addictions. Buckingham had grown increasingly frustrated with the musical limitations of the band and decided to make his last Fleetwood Mac project in 1987, which was Tango in the Night.
Okay.
And then he left. It's pretty bad. It had top 20 hits, Little Lies, Seven Wonders, and Everywhere. Actually, don't know those ones.
Oh. Tango in the Night, exchanging partners. The band is a delight. Even though we're at odds and something it will right, John. I just don't know why. John. Thanks, Luke.
They replaced him with a couple of guitarists and Behind the Mask in 1990. It was the first album since 1975 not to go gold. It was a flop.
Well, it's all Buckingham, man. It takes Buckingham to raise a village.
After the tour that followed that album release, Nix and Christine McVie announced they would continue to record with the group but not tour. Vito left the band in 91, and they basically were done for a little while.
Yep. Said enough is enough is enough. And then,
right.
After,
and then
said, we need more money. We need
more money. Because the classic Fleetwood Mac lineup, Fleetwood, both McVie's, Buckingham, and Nix reunited to play President Bill Clinton's inauguration in early 93. But the concert did not lead to a full-fledged reunion. That happened in 97. When the classic quintet that I just said reunited for a live performance that became the 1997 album, The Dance.
We got one purpose, we are two together. We are three in love for each other. We are one.
The contemporary hit version of Landslide came from this album. So the Landslide version that we know is this live version.
No, the one we know is Smashing Pumpkins. Thanks, Billy Corgan. Sorry.
So in early 98, they were inducted to the Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame by Sheryl Crow. And not long afterward, Christine McVie was like, I'm out. She announced that she was leaving the band.
Right, made enough. I'm out.
Yeah.
Her lighting guy's my future.
Right. Her departure may have slowed the speed of Fleetwood Mac's reunion, but the remaining quartet set work writing and recording a new album. Say You Will appeared in April of 2003. It was their first album in 8 years and the first in 16 to feature Buckingham and Stevie Nicks together. So it was a big, that was the first real big thing, right? And then in 2013, Christine McVie said appeared with the Fleetwood Mac in London, and then said for the first time in 15 years, and she's like, "I'm back in the band.
Needed the money. Healthcare's a bitch."
In early 2018, Fleetwood Mac reunited to play a gig celebrating their award as Music Care's Person of the Year. This turned out to be the last concert Buckingham would play with Fleetwood Mac. In April, Buckingham was fired from the band. He would later file a lawsuit against the group regarding his dismissal. I looked into it. It's like about tour dates and weird stuff. So it seemed like it was just they just wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah. Was it? Did he go to the ICJ?
No, went to the ICC. Weirdly enough.
Whoa! War crime, Buckingham. You are fucked now. Your palace is gone.
So Fleetwood Mac hired Neil Finn and Mike Campbell to replace him and launched an international tour in September of 2018, releasing a compilation album titled 50 Years, Don't Stop, as a companion to the tour. And they are still together in that form.
Don't stop unless you're Buckingham. Then stop and don't cease and desist.
Quit it. Quit it.
Oh, man. See, you're like, they made it. They made it together through all these things, except they kicked someone out. 2 people quit. They came back. They're now touring. They're a different band. They don't even play anymore. It's all iPods. It's all bullshit.
Isn't that crazy? Like I knew the thing about like, oh, they were going through a divorce while they did some album, but I knew nothing else. It was just this general kind of thing that you kind of know about Fleetwood Mac, but the details are fascinating.
I don't know why it reminds me, because yeah, the details are fascinating. It's a soap opera, but what it reminds me of is the SNL version when it was Simon and Garfunkel, when they went their own way and Garfunkel did his own breakaway album, but it was all just clapping. Because it wasn't Garfunkel, it was like the 2 guys, he had the afro.
Right. Yeah.
The other would sing. He'd like clap along. So he's like, I tried to release a few things. Didn't really take off. So when he said he wanted to do a reunion, I was all for it. You're out, Buckingham. Your clapping is not needed here any longer.
To wrap this up, for those who haven't heard Rumors recently, go back and listen to it. It is really, it's worth everything. It's so amazing.
We have one mind among us. We are all part of the bot. We are free. Drinks in too deep. I missed 4.
So the sources for this episode of Two Sided have been, first segment, denhaag.com, Britannica.
Das good.
ICJ-CIJ.org, government.nl, postandparcel.info, Human Rights Watch, Al Jazeera, New Voice of Ukraine, and the Washington Post. Second segment, the last.fm, Britannica, biography, and allmusic.com.
Wow, John. You could have really named a bunch of things there, or you could have just spouted off a bunch of stuff that we will never know. That was amazing. I would like to let you know that my side was brought to you today by PBS, LMNOP, PB&J, CNN, ICJ, IBS. Don't let it keep you up. But also PBR.
ICUP.
Did I just go?
And if you want to see him pee, you can see that on our Patreon.
Gross. But yeah, you can. Reminds me I had to upload some videos.
We got some messages.
Stevie Nicks is the worst artist on the planet. I just wanted to come and say that to you. Happy Thanksgiving. But
Cheers, brother.
Stevie Nicks could suck a dick. Suck a couple of dicks. Anyways,
Quite a few.
if it was for Tom Petty, he probably would have been nowhere. Just personal opinion. Hate me if you will. That's okay. God bless.
I love it. I love people who are invested. I love it. No, strong opinions are always welcome. 100%. Cheers, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Cheers, my brother.
Granny.
Hey, girl.
It's officially Friday.
Hell yeah.
I don't celebrate holidays, so I won't be wishing anyone any happy anything, but a happy and joyous day.
Hell
Hope you
yeah.
have every day.
Giddy up.
Giddy up.
Girl.
Speaking of the shit you were just talking about, you know, the freak parties. You know those parties.
Oh, yeah.
I just saw an advertisement just the other day. Yeah, high-end fashion designer. Children were standing there dressed up, holding bears that were in bondage. Bondage, you say? Bondage. What the shenanigans is going on?
I would say that's a rogue Build-A-Bear workshop if I was asked. Granted, every time that makes me think about like it's a rogue, it's like an off-brand. It's not on like Universal Park, or it's not in Hollywood, it's not in Orlando Disneyland. It's like in a back alley. Hey, build a fucking bear. You come in and there's bondage costumes. You can get any one of the Village people. And then when it comes to the voice boxes, it's like, yeah. I don't know. I don't care. I don't vote. That's like another one you get. Like there's a lot of like really off-putting sayings. John.
Hey, fellas, I'm back. Sorry about that. Foggy 420. You have to play some Forkman real quick.
Well, okay.
killed Slayfest. We had a duo total of 20 kills in a match. Let's fucking go. I'm here for the Fleetwood Mac. I love Fleetwood Mac. I could rattle off lyrics to hundreds of their songs. Good choice.
Was it one in purpose? We are too drunk to continue. We are 3 beat sheets to the wind for each other. John, what are the lyrics of that song? That's my favorite.
You know that we hate each other right now. We're going through a divorce, so we're just gonna do this. And we're gonna do that, and it's gonna be fantastic. You're gonna love it.
See? Yeah, see? Everybody pick up your instruments. Play 2, 3, 4, go. 2, 3, 4. Gold album. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. I'm singing. We're singing about divorce. And we're singing and cheating and singing and doing drugs. Okay, good set, everybody. Everyone go home, write a song about the person you hate the most. We're going to come back, do a shit ton of drugs, and record it tomorrow. Lighting guy, fuck you. I'm out.
I don't know why my boy Pete just burst into Helplessly Hoping. Helplessly Helping?
There we go.
Helplessly Hoping.
That's Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
That he just murdered. I mean, that he just gave a rendition of.
That's Helplessly Hoping. Now here, yeah. I love it because that's now she says it. Because Helplessly Hoping, now she says the thing. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's on that. No, that's Crosby, Stills, and Nash. John, they didn't fuck each other, and they still broke up. Come on, John, with a mustache like that. Oh.
Gentlemen, I am listening to you, here with you, interacting with you in the stereo streets, but I also have you on my silence TV so I can see your beautiful faces. You both look amazing. You look very good. You look happy. Okay.
Happy boy. Happy boy. Yeah.
Happy.
One of the best things about this, we're kind of both on vacation. So the green room, we're going late until I don't want to anymore. Like there's no time limit. So I know Julie's up, so she's down. She'll get up and have an English breakfast. No tomatoes on mine, please. But we'll have extra beans though. All of those things are untrue. I would have more tomatoes and no beans. I'll have mushrooms. I'll have the blood sausage or the black pudding.
Because someone in the YouTube chats has requested it, I'm going to say Rihanna. Great song. It was on their first album before they started all the divorce stuff.
That was a good one. That was the first, and you know that probably has a backstory. It's like someone met her somewhere and she was a thing about someone and someone's like, you? Oh, really? Oh, Rihanna?
Yeah. Well, there's always a backstory. And my boy Pete, for this episode, is there anything you'd like to take a second glance at, a second look, a second thought, a second opinion? Any backstory? This is Pete's Retraction Corner.
I would like to take a hard look at my choices of accents. I would really like to take a look at that. I would also like to probably have a few more shots before we started and probably a few more during the show. So I feel like I didn't really do the awards work. Ooh, John, hear me out. This is what I'm sorry for. I'm sorry because it's a special occasion. It's a holiday show. I'm sorry that I didn't insist that we did a special thing that I listened to a podcast, and it'd be hilarious to watch us do the Century Club as we do our show, that I keep a minute timer. So every minute we take a shot of beer as you're doing the show, and it just keeps binging, and we just keep doing shots of beer. And it's only like 10 beers in an hour. It's not that many. Like, we'd still have to do shots. You know that, right?
Well, we'd have to do shots because you hate beer.
Yeah, but that's not drinking. It's like, oh, I could run a big race and drink. It's fucking water, bro. The only thing that would get me is carbonation. If you pour it in little shot glasses, if you have beers open everywhere, if you cover the table with open beers and just pour it into shot glasses, John, totally fine. Totally fine. And I think our next, I think next Thursday, yeah, I think you're going to have to pick up a 12-pack and have it at your house, because I think I'm going to make you do that. I think I might just like, hey, whatever show you got going, great. I'm actively doing my show with a timer while yours is going. And we're both playing both shows.
Right, yeah.
I'll respond to yours as long as you respond to mine. You could be in the middle of a tirade. John, the buzzer went, drink your shot.
I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. Never break the chain.
Never break the chain. Don't make me call Crosby, Stills, or Nash.
1, 2,
3 sheets for each other. I'm telling you,
that's my favorite song. I listen to that shit on repeat.
David Crosby. Also, when he had a solo album, when he looked like a woman, right? It was like 94, 96, something. That was a great album. He had a great. I'm a guy who, when I get a song I love, I'll listen to it on repeat, like for a while, or I'll put it in rotation. So I listen to it every third song, because I don't want to be a fucking psychopath, right?
Correction, John, it's not Rihanna. It's Rihanna.
Just saying.
That's funny. It's true.
Rihanna.
It's therapist, John, not the rapist.
No, I agree to disagree.
You know what? You bring the couch to lay on, and I'll figure out what we do on it. Okay?
Hey, we're doing great. Let's do a shot, get out of here, and go to our green room, huh?
Yeah, let's do that. And here's the deal, folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We will continue this conversation, but John says we have to go to the other room, because that's where we have cigars and brandy and speak like adults. Anyway, thanks for listening.
Cheers.
Cheers to
Thank you all for listening.
Bing, bing, bing.
I'm thankful for you. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We have our open chat show live on stereo every Tuesday, same start as tonight. So if you want to join us, or you want to throw some topics out there, email twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO sidedpod@gmail.com. And for those listening live, join our chat on the stereo app in our green room right now. Let's go on the hour in 4 minutes for our after show wind down. That's a wrap for tonight. I'm John L. Peacock out in somewhere near Brooklyn, New York.
And I'm my boy Pete, and I'm way more sober than John, so I'm going to need your keys, John. I'm driving us to the green room in Southern California.
And this was our show. You can eavesdrop wherever you get your podcasts and even join us live, both on our YouTube channel, Two-Sided Podcast, handled TWO Sided Pod, all one word, and the Stereo app every Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, as we talk about the two sides of life, the serious and the fun, here on Two-Sided. And I am thankful for you, Pete.
I'm thankful for the mute button, John, and you. Doesn't get any better. Doesn't get any better, bro. Oh, we will see you there.